Hi, this is Mark Hennebury from Solidwoodmachinery. I've just finished rebuilding a 1980s Maka Mortiser. They're made in Germany. This one was a pretty bit of a mess, so I had to do a complete rebuild on it. Anyhow, it's been a long journey, but it's finally finished, and I'd like to take a few minutes and show you around, show you what I've done on it. So, this is the machine as it is now. The whole machine was totally stripped. The bodywork's all been stripped and sanded, primed and painted, top coated. The rack on the back was taken off and sandblasted. All of this stuff was rusted, all the paint was falling off. The shafts on here have been replaced. Put brand new precision ground rods in here, bought oversized ones, line bored the bearing blocks and honed them, so it's got new shafts in there. It's got new electric paneling, new transformer, new contactors. This is the controls for the 3 heads on there. You can have forward, reverse or off, on-off switch there. The clamps were all replaced. I tried repairing the clamps that were on here, and it was too much work. There was too much stuff wrong with them, so I replaced the clamps. Had to make up new clamp brackets, machined and welded, and then made up new feet for them, made up new fittings. It's got all new fittings, air lines, new valves on the top. And down this end is the feed unit. So the feed unit was a bit of a mess also. They was stripped and cleaned and polished the inside. This is the air cylinder, and the oil braking system is an air over oil system. This shaft here was scored up pretty bad, so that was machined, spray welded, machined back to oversize, and then the bronze bushing was honed out to fit. This shaft here was bent, so that was replaced with a chrome shaft. It's got all new seals, rubber seals and oil seals and O-rings in. This is the air control system inside here. This panel was missing, so I made up a new door for it. New cover. That's a fiberglass one. What else? Oh, this rod. These were seized up, the shafts were seized, the table was stuck, so all this rod was all scored up where they'd used a monkey wrench on it. So that I had to sand, turn and sand all the score marks out of. The motors were all stripped, sandblastings, everything was sandblasted and taped and primed and painted. The components in there were remachined. Show you the shafts that come out, the rotors that come out of these are like this. They have a offset lobe on them here, a journal that this eccentric fits on. The eccentric fits in here. The shaft comes up through it. This has an offset bore, and then you have an offset journal here. So when this slides over there, you can adjust the throw. You have basically what you have is a variable throw crank, depending on where you turn this. You rotate it on here and you lock it in. It has 2 screws that go in here, and what that does is give you a variable throw, so that when your cutter bit is on there, depending on the position you bolt that in on the shaft, will determine how much of a throw you get, and so you have an infinitely variable length of your slot within a given range. So all of these the shafts had to be machined down, which is pretty tricky because they're offset. spray welded the eccentrics like this, the blade holders, they were all machined and reground on a surface grinder. The castings, a lot of them were damaged, like this one. The people had jammed stuff, probably ran the table into the machine, so I replaced that one, put a new one, new cover on this one down here. The table here was sandblasted and then spray painted underneath, and then the top of it is finished with boiled linseed oil so that it doesn't go rusty. That's basically what's been done. So it's been a lot of work. There's lots of fittings and parts being made up for it. Even the brackets and stuff like this were made, new plates and clamps, new stop plates. So it's been a big job, an awful lot of work. So what I'll do now is give you a quick run through on how this operates. This all works with a single foot pedal. So down this end, you come down, you pick up what head you're going to operate there. You turn, this is main disconnect, start button, and choose the head in the motor direction. The idea is you would loosen the bolts down here, slide the head to the position you want, tighten the bolts up. You've got a height adjustment on here, which is adjusted with this screw. You've got two bolts there, you can loosen those, raise or lower the head, tighten those two bolts up. You can adjust the throw on the head by adjusting the oscillating unit there. That adjusts the stroke. You'll also see, I can just show you that there are counterbalance weights on there, so counterbalance weight here, and you have several positions to adjust that to eliminate or reduce the vibration. These machines throw a blade in a big ellipse, so there's quite a bit of vibration on them, but by moving the counterweight around you can eliminate a lot of the vibration. And down this end you have, this is the adjustable stop with the lever there, touches a switch there so you can preset how deep you're cutting. And on the feed unit you have the increase or decrease speed. So you can also position the table where you want it to stop and start. Basically it's a very simple operation. You put the wood in here, you move this stop to use as a chip breaker. So you have to set the blade over as far as you can over this way, and then put a straight edge there so you stop the chip breaker pretty close to the edge of the blade. Let's have a look. The operation is actually very simple. All you do is your foot pedal here is a 3 position. You press all the way down, the machine will feed automatically, start the clamps and the motor and the feed unit. When it hits the table stop there, it will reset this foot switch. So if you push the switch all the way down and you want to stop the table in the middle, you just tip the switch into the middle position and the table will stop. Tip it all the way back up and the table will return. So to start the machine, all you do, hit the pedal. And it starts to go. And that's it. Now I'll take the, see, I did a few test runs there. So you get a little bit of fuzz there on the where the chip breaker's not set really tight. The chip breakers are aluminum plates, so you can set it right up snug if you want to remove that, and you can even cut the aluminum. But that's basically it. So it does a nice clean job, and it's very simple to operate. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.